In the year 2023, when I started actively praying for my husband, and I was getting agitated, I was scared of, oh, I do not want to miss it in marriage. I mean, I think at that time I was listening to several messages, and then people were like, please don't miss it, please don't miss it. So I was really getting agitated. I really did not want to miss the marriage. And then God told me, praise, I have seen the future. You did not miss it, except you choose to. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for stopping by. My name is Praise Paul Damba, or you can call me PPD for short. I'm a Nigerian that married a Liberian, and of course, before I got married, God took me on a 6 year journey, waiting period, and I know that I learned a lot of things during that period, and that's why I'm here to share them with you. So this channel is all about singlehood, faith, lifestyle, marriage, vlogs, and everything in between. Of course, me to settling into my new role, in a different country with a different way of life, culture and all of those things. But yes, before we move into the video, I started something where I get to talk about the top commenters on my channel. And for this week, we have Ruth B. Jumbo. That's my sweet, sweet mother in love, covering us with the blood of Jesus everywhere she comments. I love you so much. Thank you, mommy. Of course, I have Goodness Sert. Thank you, Goodness. You're always commenting, and I really do hope you're really enjoying the video. And then Franco, right? For my almost on my videos now, I've been saying Franco say there's one thing he kept saying, or she kept saying, I don't know if it's he or she, can tell me in the comments, she would say, or he would say, I love your content. You have to be consistent now. You're becoming my favorite Liberian content creator. Oh yes, I have determined, I plan to be consistent on this channel. Thank you so much. I look forward to hearing from you again. So if you're just here, I love to read from you. So please, if this video is gonna bless you or as it's blessing you, as you can relate, drop in the comment section. As always, you can also drop your nation's flag. I would love to know where you're watching me from. So now let's move to the video. Like I said, in the year 2023, I was getting concerned. We I don't know if we were hearing several stories of people missing it in marriage, or maybe because I was starting to get prepared for marriage, and so I knew that. So the weight of just missing it was so strong on me. I had just come back from a retreat, young ministers retreat, and then in that meeting, I think it was in the meeting after God told me, praise. I think to just calm me down, like praise. I've seen it. You did not miss it in marriage, except you choose to. That was the clause. So I knew that I had the power to choose who I spend the rest of my life with. And so, in the period of me waiting on God, in the period of me studying, praying, reading about, marriage or choosing the right partner, one thing I found out very loud is that God will not forcefully tell you you must marry this person. What it does is it will parade options before you, and then it's up to you to choose, based on your walk with God, based on your purpose, based on your vision, based on your standards, based on your values. What is the thing that, or what are those things that mean a lot, that mean so much to you that you cannot do without? Like I said in my videos, what are your non-negotiables? So based on those things, and you look at that person and say, I think this person, I can spend the rest of my life with this person. That's what God does. So you will choose. So I heard a very popular phrase, and the person says, God doesn't choose for you, God chooses with you. Now, the clauses, when God brings these people, and then your own non-negotiables are now fickle things. Example, he's not as tall as I want him. He's not as dark as I want him. He has a fat face. I want a slim, structured face. Or for example, he's a banker. I really wanted somebody in IT industry. He's a pastor. Me, I already vowed I don't want to marry a pastor. For example, how to also know your non-negotiables and your negotiables are your non-negotiables. Are there some things? Are there things that will not make your marriage work? If their words will affect your marriage in the future, of course, that can be your non-negotiable. For example, if you think that if he's not tall, you are not attracted to him. I mean, I once had a tutor then. This person was good to me, was helping me to grow in God, but I wasn't just attracted to the person. I couldn't just imagine myself being intimate with this person. I knew that if I came out to the person, intimacy would be a problem. Of course. So of course, so I'm not saying that the person doesn't have to be attracted. The person doesn't have to be attracted to you and attractive to you. If you remember my last video where I wrote 16 things, I wrote attracted to me, and but if you insist that this is how this person is gonna be, if it's not like this, I don't want it, then that's gonna be a problem. Now takes me to the popular phrase, or when I was studying and I listened to a message by the late Dr. Miles Monroe. He said the issue with people and why they mostly miss it in marriage is that they are looking for someone with the 100%, someone that's 100% perfect. He said, you will never find that person. That person is Jesus, and he's not going to marry you on earth or physically. So you're not gonna find the 100% perfect person. So most times, what you can find is 80%, and the 20% is something you have to tell yourself. Can I live with this 20%? And don't enter the marriage thinking that 20%, that person will grow into it. In your mind, tell yourself, if this person never get to have this 20%, am I still going to still enjoy this marriage? Am I still going to love this person? Am I still going to stay with this person for life? Now, we said the reason why people miss it is that they are looking for the 20% and then they throw away the 80%. Most times, what's in the 80%? The person has character, the person is kind, the person is spiritual, the person loves God, the person is following God, the person has a relationship with God, the person is doing well in their career, they have a vision and they're running with vision, not just having a vision, they are running with it. Remember, they are running with it. That means they have patterns. Okay, in the last year, I had this vision. What step have I taken towards the achievement of this goal and of this vision? So there are patterns, right? You see somebody like that. You see somebody that loves marriage. You see somebody that loves you. You see somebody that is interested about the kingdom, interested about your growth. You know, that's it. You see somebody that that wants to have children, that wants to be a husband, that wants to be a wife. You see all those things. That person is punctual. That person is honest. That person is good. That person, of course, has a working relationship with God. So fornication, all manner of those vices, sexual, whatever, immoralities, is not there. The person is not a cheater. The person is honest. The person doesn't lie to you. The person is not a gaslighter. Those are the 80% in those things. And then the 20% could be fickle things, most times fickle things. And then people are looking for the fickle things. It could be even butterflies. Oh, I just want to feel the butterflies in my belly, the way that. And most times I've found out that what people call butterflies, they are infatuation. Most times they're even lost because you just want to see that person and you want to feel like doing being intimate with the person because YouTube is going to flag those words. Just that's what you are looking for. So you feel like you're not attracted to the person because you don't see them and you're not thinking something or you're not. I hope you understand. So sometimes people forsake the 80% and look for the 20%. And so they're going to look for somebody that maybe spoils them with money. And that person is a Yahoo boy. In Nigeria term, Yahoo boy means people that are doing scams. They scam people for a living. The person buys you every week. He gets you a flower and puts money in it. He buys you expensive gifts that you know that you cannot earn. The person doesn't have a saving life, savings life, meaning the person doesn't know how to save. Spends anyhow, but because the person is spending on you, you think yes, he loves you. Meanwhile, the other guy is in your corner trying to teach you how to spend your money wisely. But you say no, he's stingy. Some people are stingy, but some people are actually learning how to save wisely and actually trying to, invest into their future. So sit down with yourself. Ask yourself, which is more important to me? What will really make my marriage work? As far as you can see the 80%, you're never gonna see 100%. As far as you can see the 80%, please choose with God. So if God has paraded that person in front of you, He has seen your 80% in that person and it's just 20%. Why not? That's a pass mark. And during my waiting period to God had to be telling me about Adam. When God said I was gonna make an helpmate for Adam, God did not say he was gonna make an helpmate for Adam after he had created the animals. He said it before he created the animals. And so it was after he created the animals and he gave it to Adam. He paraded them before Adam. and say, Adam, what will you call this? If Adam had called the lion an helpmate, I'm sure God wouldn't have bothered making Eve. But Adam called the lion lion, called the antelope antelope. God created every other thing and he called them whatever it was. But the moment God created Eve, it was Adam himself that called Eve the bone of my bone, the flesh of my flesh. So, assuming he called lion the bone of my bone, flesh of my bone, was like, okay, I think he enjoys being with this with this animal, then it's fine. But God saw that even after he called the animals and all those things, he didn't, and then God created Eve. And then he called Eve. He was the one that decided with himself, used his mouth to call Adam, you know, meaning that you can use your mouth to say, oh, this can actually be my husband. This can actually be my wife. So you've got pirate the person beside before you, and you've seen all those qualities, and you know you can actually live with this person. When my husband came, it took me 1 month, and the 1 month, why it took me 1 month to answer him was simply because of where I was going to relocate from my country. But for the fact that, and that was the only reason why I took time, because I wanted to be sure that I'm not leaving, because I knew I was doing a lot of things in Nigeria. I want to be sure that I'm not neglecting the purpose God has called me into. But as for the husband qualities in him, I knew that I cannot allow this person go. I used to say to people, my friends, I said, when other people were coming, right? What was in my mind was, I'm scared of saying yes when it's actually a no. But when my husband came, I was scared of saying no to him when I knew it's a yes. And that's the difference. Because I knew I saw all those qualities. I saw the things I needed. I knew that I can live with this person 100%. Maybe because, again, I've been in the waiting for a long time. So I've seen several and various types of people and counterfeits. And so when I saw my husband, I knew that, no, 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 no. I'm not going to let this person go. Please note, there are persons, several persons that God told specifically, this is your husband and this is your wife. Example, Bishop David Oyedepo, God told him, that's your wife. And I think Pastor Mike, Evangelist Mike Bamiloye and the wife, it was something similar around that place. I mean, I think our fathers of old, in a way, most of them. But one thing I've noticed is the way it happens for you will be different from the way it happens for somebody. So it's not a template. Example is when Apostle Aaron was saying that the way God called him into ministry, he was thinking the way God called Bishop Oyedepo into ministry is the way God will, I think something similar. I mean, Bishop was in the 18-hour vision. He just knew I should be a pastor. Imagine dis he disregarded that intuition. Look at what is happening with the churches all over the world. So one thing I noticed is that God doesn't have a specific template in doing things. So yes, there's some persons that God will show you, this is your husband, this is your husband. But if you are now waiting that God must show you, in fact, this is another video entirely. I almost don't want to say yes to myself because I was feeling that the confirmations, I'm not getting them. I should get them. But trust me, because I was thinking it should be like that for, the way it was for people. It should be like that for me. Some people had dreams, some people, so it's different. Of course, God, yes. So what I'm trying to say is yes, some people are like that. But if you're not wishing that this must be how your own will come, that's where the problem might be. So yes, most times, what I've noticed is most times God parades them. Even with the people that God showed them, this is your wife, this is your spouse, they still have the choice to say, okay, no problem. Imagine they said, I'm not trying to, I don't like how God, man, I don't like how God said, or the other one say, that guy, or the wife say, hey, this very cocoa man, that when he's praying, I don't want him. God will not force them and say, I join you together. No, they still have the choice, to choose. And that's where I'm coming from. So God will most times parade these persons before you, and you have to choose based on your walk with God, based on your vision, based on your purpose, based on your values and standards, and see if that person is going in the same direction, that you're going. So please, if that person is in your corner and you have ticked 80% of your box, and you know deep down that you can actually live without the remaining 20%, why not? So God will not force you and say you must be the person, you must marry this person. If you miss it, you will not. You can decide to miss it or get it right. So if you have found the 80%, please go ahead, and do the right thing after you have prayed. I beg you, and it's God that paraded that person before you, right? I hope you really enjoyed this particular episode. Thank you for watching to the end. You can follow me on all social media platforms at the Praise for Dumba and of course a live with PPD. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.